Welcome to Connecting the Community podcast. I am your host, Marge Andre. I will be connecting you to people, organizations, and events that create community. I am creating this podcast in Richmond Hill, an eclectic and very culturally diverse community with lots of trees and streams and interesting people, just up the hill from Toronto. On this podcast, I will be speaking with Kathrine Mabley, the current president of the Oak Ridges Lions Club. They are celebrating their 75th anniversary this year. Congratulations on this milestone. So welcome, Kathrine.
Thanks for having me, Marge.
Oh, you are so welcome. I am so glad we're having this conversation.
Yeah,
Now,
me too.
how long have you been involved with the Lions Club?
For years actually, but I officially joined our club in February of 2020.
Just before the pandemic.
Exactly.
Okay. Let's first make sure that the listeners know what the Lions Club is. Now, I remember hearing that the word lion actually is an acronym.
It sure is actually. It stands for the words liberty, intelligence, and our nation's safety. And it was coined way back in 1920.
Oh, we think we would know by now what it meant since it's been around that long. Okay, I think that's important to know. But you do have a lion as part of your logo, which I like. Yeah. Okay. So there are many Lions clubs worldwide and nearby. There is also the Richville Lions Club, but the Richmond Hill Lions Club folded, correct?
Yeah, unfortunately they did. But the Richville Club now serves the southern half of Richmond Hill, and Oak Ridges serves the northern half. And we kind of use Major Mackenzie Drive as our unofficial dividing line, but we work closely with all our neighboring clubs.
Okay, very good. Yeah, I know Hugh Adams in the Richville Lions Club, and I know you guys talk. So very good. I like that. But please tell us about your club. How many members do you have? And obviously, it's men and women. And can you talk about how one time there were women were just lionesses?
Okay, so our club has 12 members at the moment, and yes, it is both men and women.
Mhm.
Women were actually banned from joining Lions clubs up until 1987.
Mm.
However, thankfully, women were very active in Lioness clubs starting back in 1920, and the Lioness clubs were sort of considered kind of just ancillary to the men's Lions clubs at that time.
Mhm. Okay. So Richmond Hill, Oak Ridges, is culturally diverse. I'm going to say very culturally diverse. And do you have members from these diverse backgrounds?
Sure do. In Oak Ridges, we welcome all culturally diverse individuals in our club. The beauty of Lions Club is actually that we're prohibited from engaging in partisan politics and sectarian religion discussions by our constitution.
Mm-hmm.
So the wonderful thing about that is it opens us up to being able to include absolutely everyone.
Mm-hmm.
We aren't guided by our differences. We encourage anyone who has a desire to serve, to join us. It doesn't matter where you're originally from. If you want to enhance your community, your leadership skills, and have fun, you are welcome with us.
Okay, I like that very much.
You should also know that, in fact, there are some Lions clubs which are specifically focused on specific cultures, and they have members that are mainly from those cultures. And so they focus their meetings and events to better serve their customer bases. If anyone is looking for a club to join that's geared to a specific culture, we can help direct you to them if you contact us.
Okay, good. And yeah, and there's the Lions Club International website people can explore as well. So, and those that will be in the podcast notes. So, do your members need to live in Oak Ridges?
Oh my goodness, no. Currently, we actually have members who reside in Southern Richmond Hill, Newmarket, Aurora, and at one point we even had a member who lived in Toronto.
Okay.
So the main thing an individual should consider if they're thinking about becoming a Lion is to try and find a club that suits their focus, their schedule, and makes them feel really welcome. We want you to keep coming back to feel like it's your club. So it's kind of best to find a club that makes you feel like you belong, and it makes it easy for you to engage. And location is certainly one part of that.
Okay, very good. Good advice. So your club is active, but with it being the 75th anniversary, you are even more active. So let's talk about some of the things that you will be doing. First, there is an open house next month. Tell us about that.
I would love to. We are really excited about this community open house, actually. It's open to all residents, and we're really trying to simply help our residents discover what it is that we as Lions do, what the amazing nonprofit organizations we support do, and how we use the money we raise to better our community. It's really a huge celebration of the fact that for 75 years, there's been hundreds of members in our club, all focused on making our community a better place to live. They all wanted to bond the community, get together and raise it up, and promoting positive advancements and change and engaging with anyone and everyone. And that is still what we strive to do in Oak Ridges today, actually. So we've invited the nonprofit groups we support, as well as dignitaries, our other Oak Ridges partners, to attend and network and inform the residents of their services. We're just going to be highlighting some of our history as a club and telling the residents about the exciting projects we've got coming up. And needless to say, we're going to be celebrating. So, of course, there's going to be refreshments too. And so come and join us and have some fun and free food.
Oh, that sounds fantastic. I plan on being there, but when is it? We forgot to ask that. And when and where is it?
Oh, it's March 25th. Actually, it's a Tuesday night, 7 to 9 p.m. It's going to be in the Bond Lake Arena, which is in the southern part of Oak Ridges, upstairs in the Norm Taylor room.
Okay, very popular place for meetings. So yes, I've been there often. So good place to have it. Okay, for as long as I've been promoting events in Richmond Hill, I remember that the Oak Ridges Lions Club does a community cleanup. When, where, and why does this cleanup happen?
You're right. Okay, so let me give you a little bit of background information on Lions International main pillars of focus as kind of an introduction to answering your question. All Lions clubs have 7 pillars of focus. There's childhood cancer, diabetes, environment, humanitarian vision, youth, and disaster relief. The environmental pillar, however, is one that we really take to heart in Oak Ridges because we're on the moraine. We have amazing green spaces and parks and wetlands, lakes, ponds, trails, you name it. So we cherish these here and want to continue to protect and enjoy them for generations to come. So yes, the Oak Ridges Lions have been a proud part of the Oak Ridges community cleanup for 25 years. It happens each spring. It's now in the cleanup green up weeks and in Oak Ridges. And we aim to do kind of like a once a year major cleanup of all the winter debris in all over our ward. We engage hundreds of our residents and students each year, collecting thousands of pounds of litter from our green spaces and wetlands. And honestly, we have a blast doing it. It's such a fun event. We offer free barbecue to anybody who attends. And because we're a nonprofit organization, actually, we have the benefit of being able to sign off on those secondary school students community service hours, which is something the city can't do. So we're always welcoming students from all across the region. We get a lot of repeat students every year because it helps them get a lot of community service hours all in one day. And and being teenagers, of course, it always helps to feed them. So they love that part too.
Yep. I really hope that you have a great event. And you said it's on May the 3rd, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so we mark that in the calendar. So I know that diabetes education is something that is pivotal to the Lions Club. So what is your club doing in respect to diabetes education?
Okay, so we are actually in the midst of planning a joint education session with the members of the Ridgevale Lions Club. This is part of how we worked all together. We're hoping to host this event in April, and it's another free event for residents who want to learn more about diabetes and how to manage it. And we'll have representation from Diabetes Canada, speaking about both type 1 and type 2 diabetes, as well as the wonderful Camp Hurunda for children with diabetes. Have you heard of Camp Hurunda?
Yes, I have. Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's an amazing place.
Yeah, it's a wonderful, wonderful camp for children with type 1 diabetes. And it's the only camp of its kind actually in Ontario running a full summer program. And the kids normally don't get to go to camp because of their medical needs. And this camp is located in Huntsville, and it lets kids enjoy the full camping experience in cabins and on 100 acres. It's because they've got these great camp counselors and they're with the children 24/7, so that they've got these medical supplies and glucose supplies in the cabins. So the kids can do their normal camping activities and learn how to manage their diabetic levels with other kids that are just like them. It's truly a wonderful place. We're actually going to be doing a bottle drive in May at the beer store in Oak Ridges, and all the funds that we raise there that day will go to support sending another child to camp as well. So we do a lot for diabetes.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, and your camp, I think it's amazing what happens there.
Mm.
So I do know that many years ago, Helen Keller asked the Lions Club to be the Knights of the Blind, and hence Lions Clubs have been doing vision care, collecting used prescription glasses, and offering services to the blind. And your club is organizing a dog guide walk. Can you tell us about that?
Sure. And this one we're doing together with the Aurora Club members. So we're thrilled to be organizing a dog guide walk on May 25th. It is in Aurora this time. This event is going to be open for all residents of Aurora and Richmond Hill, and we certainly encourage everyone to get out and get sponsors and show up for a wonderful walk that day. And of course, needless to say, dogs are welcome on this event. We're going to have gift bags and provide pizza lunch. And the hope is, with help of sponsors like Pet Value, that we'll have a hugely successful day. With vision being one of our pillars, we actively support the training and placement of dog guides in York Region. And we actually know for a fact at this point in time that there are currently 3 vision dog guides in York Region that our clubs have funded. So it's pretty cool. And I think it's important to mention, though, that dog guides aren't just for vision. They're trained for all sorts of things like diabetes alert, seizure response, autism assistance, hearing support, and facility support as well. So there's a ton that these dogs do. So we really have to support the vision ones.
Wow, that's quite interesting. Are you going to have information about the dog guides, what they
Mhm.
can do at the event?
Yep, yep,
Yeah. Okay.
absolutely.
Your club also has been doing tree planting with the Toronto Region Conservation Authority. Like, are you doing something special with it being your 75th anniversary?
This year, we are thrilled. We are creating a legacy project with them in honor to honor and celebrate our 75th year of service. They're making, or sorry, we're going to be making a donation to them to support the planting of 250 trees as the start of an actual forest on the Oak Ridges Marine Corridor Park between Yonge and Bathurst Streets. And we're thrilled because these trees symbolize the work of each of our members over the years. These trees will grow and enhance the community year after year. It's kind of symbolic, much like the work that our members have done over the last 75 years. And TRCA is going to engage approximately 100 students in the planting. So these youth will learn about the significance of the moraine and the need to preserve it, all while planting and learning about trees and natural habitats. It's a real win-win situation. And
Yeah, very good.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I think this tree planting is really important and engaging young people, definitely.
Yeah, well, and each year, like the great thing about this is we can continue to make donations ongoing, and they'll continue to build the forest for generations to come. We're using some of the funds that we raise through our volunteer work with the OCGA, and Bingo World here in Richmond Hill. And we have a permit to volunteer at Bingo World, and in doing so, we generate funds that go 100% back to the community. And we've been very fortunate to have this arrangement and be able to make a huge impact in donations to local charities and nonprofit organizations over the years. And TRCA is just another one of those organizations that puts our funds to really good use. We're totally thrilled about this legacy project.
I think you should be. Now, this is a lot of activity. Your members are busy, but I suspect that you get help.
Not enough.
Hmm.
We wish we could have more.
Yeah, well, I hope the public steps up.
It depends on the event.
Okay.
And we could do so much more if we had more people engaged, to be honest. Truthfully, we would love to hear lots more from residents, how we can help, if we're meeting their needs, that kind of thing. Um, we encourage people to chat with us, come to our meetings, come to our events. Let us know what you think makes a great community and what can Lions do to make Oak Ridges and Northern Richmond Hill an even a place to live.
Yeah. You sort of said it, but I want us to have more of a discussion, talk more about what it is about public service. Yeah, it's much more than a few trees planted, a few more people learning about diabetes. What are your experiences?
You're so right, Marge. There is an absolutely incredible amount of volunteer work being done in Richmond Hill. And as Lions, we are so proud to be a part of that. Personally, I think there were a lot of things that drew me to being a Lion. Historically, I come from a long line of Lions. My grandfather was once president of a Lions Club, so I got to have firsthand knowledge about the wonderful services that Lions provide from him. And today, I get to be friends with some pretty incredible people. We get to hang out at least once a month and chat. We make plans about positive things happening, have fun, and build our own leadership skills. Honestly, our club members are incredible people. And on top of that, I get to meet so many residents. We get to work hand in hand with amazing organizations, city staff, council members, provincial and federal members of parliament. It's incredible. We make wonderful things happen all the time. And that leads to huge impact, positive impact on people's lives. I truly love what we do. I honestly think that more often than not, I get more out of being a Lion than what we give, what we help with. Honestly, I truly love being a Lion.
Okay, I love to hear that. And this idea of positivity, doing something, I think we need it for so much right now. So I think what you're doing is exactly what we need. And this idea, we're in a tumultuous time when you look at the news and it's always like, oh. So I think please keep up your great work.
I absolutely agree. Actually, I actually found myself recently, getting upset,
Mm-hmm.
depressed, angry, frankly, like lost
Yeah.
about what's happening right now in Canada and the world. And it can be really pretty overwhelming. So, fortunately for me, there are so many great organized events that were being organized, and I can focus on those and rather than the negative things happening all around us. And just getting involved in that stuff, talking to people positively every day, it kind of helps chase those negative feelings away. And I
Definitely.
realized again that every interaction is an opportunity to raise the bar, that the kindness really matters. And if I'm also happier as a result of it. And we're all in this together. It takes a village. And thankfully, Lions are part of a very large village. There are actually 1.4 million Lions in 49,000 clubs in almost every country in the world. And all of us are determined to continue to try to create better communities. So it's pretty crazy. It's wonderful.
Wow, I love to hear that. Thank you, thank you. So you do have the open house for people to come and see what you're doing, and that is on March the 25th, March 25th. Okay, so mark your calendars. But what if you can't come that day? Can people reach out to you and just ask you about being involved?
Of course, please, by all means, visit our Instagram, our Facebook accounts. We also have our website. It's got lots of information and history on it, and it's also contains our contact information. And we would love to hear from people.
Okay, so please reach out. Yes. Okay.
Mhm.
Anything else that you'd like to add?
Being a Lion is something that changes you. It elevates you. It makes you stronger, kind of more confident, caring, and you honestly get these amazing feelings from the things that you do. I encourage anybody that needs a boost, or heck, anyone that has lots of positive energy, to investigate being a Lion. You really, honestly, you won't regret it.
Well said. So very good. Well, I do end this podcast asking the same question of all podcast guests. I want you to name just one thing you really like about this community.
Whenever you ask anybody that on a podcast, I think, how do they come up with one thing? I mean, how do you figure in Richmond Hill and Oak Ridges in particular, like we have so much to offer people if you're willing to take advantage of it. The environment, trails, lakes, our cultural offerings, the people, the sense of community. Okay, but if I have to pick just one thing, I think
Mm-hmm.
about this community, it's our beautiful environment.
Mm.
We have it all here. Like I said, the lakes, the green spaces, trails, wildlife, and thankfully, our wonderful city staff and council have placed a high priority on preserving that for us to enjoy, and we in Lions try to continue that as well. Yeah, it's incredible, and we can literally see it all in our own backyards. I am very, very grateful and appreciative of being able to live in Oak Ridges and Richmond Hill. It's amazing.
So I will include in the podcast notes the Oak Ridges Lions Club website, and you've got your social media way of contacting you as well, and in Lions International. I think it's good just to see all the positive things that are happening. So thank you, Kathrine, for taking the time to do this podcast.
Oh, thank you so much. It's really, really been truly my pleasure. And it's just wonderful to have the opportunity. You provide opportunities for so many different organizations and individuals. And it's truly, truly appreciated, Marge. Thank you
Okay.
very, very
You're very welcome. Thank you for listening. I would very much appreciate you sharing this podcast. Consider emailing me at Marge, M-A-R-J, at margeandre.com. I welcome suggestions for podcast guests. Stay well, stay connected.